Welcome to this Training in 10 focused on SigEp Learning Communities. Today we'll be talking about the process that you and your chapter can take to become an accredited SigEp Learning Community. Before we dive in, let's talk a little bit about the program's history and recent changes. SigEp introduced the residential learning community concept in 2000 as a way to engage university faculty and staff with our chapters and provide a meaningful use for our chapter facilities. For many years, chapters pursued this concept, invited faculty and staff to provide coaching and programming for our chapter members. And in 2017, we had 50 chapters who were accredited as residential learning communities. That same year, SigEp's National Board of Directors created a task force to assess the program and help more chapters achieve learning community accreditation. This task force changed the name from Residential Learning Communities to SigEp Learning Communities to be more inclusive of unhoused chapters, set clear minimum criteria for accreditation, and establish an every 2-year reaccreditation process. After the committee's work, they outlined a framework for chapters to approach becoming an accredited SigEp Learning Community. That framework is as follows. Number 1, establish a vision. Number 2, build programming. Number 3, identify key support. Number 4, compile documents. And number 5, apply to become a SigEp Learning Community. Establish a vision is focused on what you and the chapter want the purpose of the SigEp Learning Community to be, what you're currently doing, and what you need to start. The best way to establish a vision is by asking questions like, what do we want the learning community to provide members? How can faculty provide valuable coaching, training, and programming in our facility or in an on-campus space? What are the major issues facing our members or campus community? For example, mental health, active bystander training. What would our members and campus community benefit from, and how can SigEp fill that void with valuable programming? After we establish a learning community vision, we then want to focus on building programming. Building programming is focused on identifying valuable programming the chapter would like to host. Some guiding philosophies for building programming are chapter-wide learning community program versus individual or group programming through the Balance Band program. The second philosophy is reinvent before you invent. The third, an event isn't over until it's documented. The fourth, 5 members at a well-run event is more impactful than 20 members at a poorly run event. And number 5, get the early win first. In order to help you and your chapter identify and create valuable programming, you can use these questions. What do we want to do? What do we already do? What do we do well and what are we known for? And what do we need to do to provide value to our chapter members and community? After we've built out a set of learning community programs, we need to engage the right people to bring that programming to life. Identifying key support is focused on identifying the key roles and people who will support the chapter operating as a SigEp learning community. Some guiding philosophies for identifying key support are, your network is bigger than you think, and show, don't tell. Bring those people to our learning community program and show them what it can look like. The 3 major supporting roles for the SigEp learning community are faculty fellows. These are faculty or staff members providing individual academic support, coaching, and chapter-wide programming through the SigEp learning community. We then have the resident scholars. These are graduate students providing individual academic support for members, standards boards, and coaching executive boards. The third is content experts. These are facilitators who can provide valuable content through programs provided to the chapter or campus community. Content experts can be alumni, friends of SigEp, higher education professionals, community members, and many more. The 4th step is compile documents, and this is making sure we document and have everything to provide the SigEp learning community review and recognition team. Some guiding philosophies for compiled documents are, if there's no documentation, it never happened, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. The key documents to compile and track for a SigEp learning community are a chapter development plan, which includes the SigEp learning community description, a list of all faculty and staff and how they're involved, a list of all of the chapter's academic support measures, a list of all the experiential learning programs offered and planned for the next academic year. It's important for the chapter to have a central location where all of this documentation is stored. This could be a Google Drive, a shared folder, as long as they have a central location for that information. After these 2 are complete, set an action plan for applying to become a SigEp learning community. Applying is the simple act of providing a written and documented overview of everything the chapter is doing to operate as a SigEp Learning Community. Some guiding philosophies for the application process are: apply early and often, and 4 eyes are better than 2. The important pieces of applying for your chapter are: submit an application annually, review feedback with key stakeholders, and set new learning community goals based on the feedback that you received from the committee. As a quick recap, the 5-step process to become a SigEp Learning Community is: establish a vision, build programming, identify key support, compile documents, and apply to become a SigEp Learning Community. Hopefully, this 5-step process for becoming a SigEp Learning Community is a useful framework for you when working with your chapter to identify where they currently are, where they need to go, and what you can do to apply to become a learning community soon. If you have additional questions or would like to discuss the SigEp Learning Community more, please reach out to your regional director.